Welcome everyone. Today is our first Rhinoceros tutorial. Today we will be going over the basic user interface. To start off, Rhinoceros is a window just like any other Windows program. You can minimize it, zoom out, move it around as you see fit. It's got file menu bar just like any other program in Windows. One thing about this is it has every single command that you need to use to drop down and reference. Another way to access these commands is the command line, in which you can just type in anything that you want. If you want a line, types it in and it fills in the rest for you, along with other options that start with an LIE or an LIN. Along with the commands, there are these buttons here. These are used to access commands, or also like your file menu. You can open new files from this, new documents. You can save. It's got basic zooming things, and if you want to render straight from a button, you can. These are maneuverable. You can move them around. You can pull them out, drag them around as you wish or see fit. While you're accessing these command buttons, another thing that's very useful is if you hover over it, it will tell you what the command is, and it usually has another option below the first option that's either a left click or a right click. So the black box to the left is left click, while the one to the right is a right click. You can also hold down on the ones with the arrows and more commands will come up, more button commands. And these can be taken out and moved around also. If you like, you can put them down at the bottom or store them on the side toolbar if you want to use a certain command a lot. So these are basic things for accessing commands. Another important thing about Rhinoceros are the layers. We don't have to get too far into these today, but just you can put different objects on different layers, hide different layers, or lock them. We'll get more into that later on. And another part about Rhino is these 4 viewports. Rhinoceros automatically opens up to 4 viewports, which is your perspective, top, front, and right viewport. If you ever want to change any of these, you can right click, set view, and it has different options for you to set the view to. There's also multiple other options that you can get into and explore when playing with views. If you want just one viewport up, you can double click with a left click up at the top, and now your top viewport is completely maximized. If you want it back to all 4 viewports, just double click that and it goes back. So as far as zooming in and out of viewports, just use your scroll wheel. You could also, if you don't have a mouse, use the zoom dynamic tool, but it's strongly recommended to have a mouse because it makes modeling much easier. So to pan around the screen in any of the elevation views or top views, you just right click the mouse and it will pan around the screen for you. If you do that in the perspective view, it rotates. So if we want to pan in the perspective view, we have to hold shift and then right click, and that will pan for us. Otherwise, the default setting is to rotate. So down here, we have more modeling specific commands. And these are the snaps. You have snap, which snaps to the grid. Since we have a grid in all of our viewports, if I just click on a line, that will snap to every single one of the grid point. If I disable that, it no longer does that. I can place this line anywhere in between. So I can just draw this line, enter, and I have a line. The O snaps are object snaps. You can minimize that or maximize it by pressing on it, and this will bring up all these various snaps. We'll get more into these later, but I just want to show you where they are. Not really what they do right now. You have orthogonal, which can only draw a line in certain directions. So it basically makes 90-degree angles. To select an object, you just click on it with a left click. Then to deselect it, you control. If I have another object, I just hold shift and I can select both objects, or you can drag your mouse over and it'll select any objects the mouse hovers. Another useful thing is your command help. So when you're just starting off, I can just show you how to pull it up. If you go to the help menu, you can pull up command help, and that brings up this little object called command help, which anytime you click something, it shows you what that command does. And most of them have a video, but it usually gives you a step-by-step rundown of the command. And then you can click the video and it shows you what that command does. Also, another shortcut is if you hit enter, that will repeat any command that you have previously been registered into the command line. You can also right click and it will do the same thing. And another essential part to modeling is the object properties. You can type in properties to the command line and those will pop up, and that basically explains and gives a synopsis of what every object in the viewport does and what it is. We don't really need to go in depth with this right now. Just for modeling purposes, this is a very useful thing. Also, if we want the document properties to set units, that's under File, Properties. And this allows us to edit out any kind of properties like units, the dimensions, and we can do that here. So far I have this in decimal system. I can keep it there for now. It's in feet. You can go to all your renderings, plug in anything else down here. Cancel that. So this is just a basic run through right now. We'll get more in depth in what everything means later on within future Rhino tutorials. Alright, thanks for watching.